Good morning, friends. Now that we have practiced certain sums on the theorems of circles, the length of the chords, the distance from the center to the chord. We also saw that the line perpendicular to the chord passing through the center bisects the chord. So you have done a lot of theorems. Today we are going to continue something further. So this figure you have seen before. The only change you can see in this figure is I have replaced the word chord by the word arc. So you can see here, like we saw before, PQ was the chord. We have got the chord here PQ. PQ is the chord, right? Now this chord PQ makes an angle on the major arc, PRQ. It makes an angle at the center, POQ. It makes an angle on the minor arc, PSQ. But instead of this chord PQ, suppose I consider the arc PQ. So instead of the chord PQ, now this is the chord PQ. Instead of chord PQ, now I take the arc PQ. So there is no major difference. I take the arc, no major difference. This arc also makes an angle PRQ on the major arc. The same arc PQ makes an angle at the center, but here not the minor but the major arc PQ makes an angle on the minor arc. So we have got a minor arc making an angle on the major arc and the major arc making an angle on the minor arc. So it may be a chord or it may be an arc. So there is not much of a difference. So now today's theorems are going to be based on the arcs. So what have we got here? Now we saw this. There are two arcs I have taken here. Arc PQ and arc RS. Now to begin with, let me tell you PQ and RS are equal chords. PQ and RS are equal chords. What can you say about the arc PQ and arc RS? What can you say about that? If I tell you the chords are equal, can you tell me anything about the arc? Will the arcs be equal? Now there is only one way to find out. You draw a circle. This is a circle shown to you here, and draw two equal chords PQ and RS. Okay? Now what you have to do from this RS, from this point R, cut this piece down. Cut this segment. Cut down this segment and place the segment over this segment. So you will see PQ equal to RS. So PQ will coincide with RS. And this length here will coincide exactly with this length here. So this will only come through an activity. You will have to do an activity to show that in a circle, in the same circle or congruent circles, when the chords are equal, then the corresponding arcs are also equal. Will you remember? So in the circle, when I draw the chords equal, then the arcs formed by the chord, the corresponding arcs will also be equal. This can come through an activity. So when the chords are equal, the arcs will also be equal. Right? So what statement we have here? The statement we have is, if two chords of a circle are equal, what did we do here? The two chords of a circle are equal. So we have the two chords of the circle which we took PQ and RS. So PQ and the chords RS are equal, then the corresponding arcs are congruent. So if PQ and RS are equal chords, then PQ and RS also make equal arcs. And conversely, if the arcs are congruent, then the corresponding chords will also be equal. So if the arcs, these arcs are congruent, it implies that the chords will also be equal. So remember this, in the circle, same circle or congruent circles, if the arcs are equal, the corresponding angles, the corresponding chords will be equal, and if the chords are equal, the corresponding arcs will also be equal. Now there is an activity I did here. It is not in the part of the textbook, but what I want to show you here. Suppose I have got a chord PQ. Now we saw corresponding to this is the chord PQ. Corresponding to the chord PQ, I even have got the arc PQ. Now this chord PQ makes an angle at the center. Let me call this theta. Now I have got a chord PR. It also makes an angle at the center. Now if the chord PQ equal to PR, if the chords are equal, this chord and this chord is equal, it shows us that the angle in the center will also be equal, because there is a theorem that equal chords make equal arcs at the center. But we saw just now, if the chord is equal, then the arc is also equal. So equal arcs will make equal angle at the center. So this angle and this angle is equal. Now look at the arc RQ. Okay, the arc RQ. So arc RQ is from here till here. Now what you can see, arc RQ is the sum of RP plus PQ. So the arc RQ is RP plus PQ. Okay, let us say the length of RP is equal to L. So this arc of length L made angle theta, and this arc is also equal, so L made angle theta. So what I have got here, the L makes angle theta. So twice the arc make twice the angle. I am indirectly trying to tell you that the measure of the angle will depend upon the length of the arc, and conversely the length of the arc will depend upon the angle at the center. So there is a corresponding nature in both. So when I made this arc length double, I doubled the arc length, the angle also became theta. So what you can see here, what can you observe? That I had an arc length L, I had a arc of length L, which made an angle theta at the center. When I doubled the L to 2L, I made it double, the angle also became double. Means the angle at the center and the length of the arc is corresponding. So what you can see here, suppose I take the complete arc, that is the complete circle. So complete circle, that is the circumference, what will the angle inside be? The whole circle, that is 360 degree. So I can see here, when the angle is 360 degree, angle I will write here, angle is 360 degree, the length of the arc is the circumference, that is 2 pi r. So if I take the angle theta degree, what will the length of the arc be? So I cross multiply and get L equal to 2 pi r theta upon 360. Okay, so now I have a formula to find the length of the arc. So if this angle here is say 60 degree, okay, then what I will do, and suppose the radius is given 7 centimeter, radius is 7. So I will write 2 into 22 by 7 into r, that is 7, theta is 60 degree upon 360. 7 7 cut, 0 0 cut, 6 1s are, 6 6s are, 2 1s are, 2 3s are. So I got 22 by 3 is the length of the arc. But what I mean to tell you here, what you need to understand is that the length of the arc corresponds to the angle theta. Now you can see here 360 degree gives us 2 pi r, the whole circumference. 60 degree would give us, now 60 degree is 1/6 of 360. So the length of the arc will become 1/6 of the circumference. So as you keep on changing the degree, the length of the arc will also change. This is not the part of the textbook, but this is just to show you that when the length, a certain arc length makes an angle theta at the center. If you double the arc length, the angle at the center will double. If you make the arc length half, the angle at the center will also become half. Okay? From this we go to a very important theorem. This theorem is really very good and really very important. What is this theorem? The angle subtended by an arc at the center. So you can take any arc. You can see I have taken this arc PQ. Okay, so this is the arc PQ. The angle subtended by the arc PQ at the center. So what is the angle made at the center? So this arc PQ makes angle POQ at the center. At the center it's POQ. The theorem says the angle at the center is double the angle subtended by any point on the remaining part of the circle. Means this is made at the center. Now let me take the point A. So this same arc PQ makes angle PAQ on the circle. So we have got a circle with center O, a chord PQ or an arc, you can even say an arc PQ, and A is a point on the circle. A is a point on the circle. The theorem states that the angle made at the center is double of what is made on the circle. So if this angle PAQ is x, PAQ, then POQ should be 2x. The angle at the center should be double of what is at the top here. Okay? So now we'll see the proof. How are we going to prove it? If you understood the theorem, then we'll find a way to prove it. Okay? So what is the theorem again? The angle made at the center by an arc is double the angle subtended at any point on the circle. So how are we going to prove it? To prove it, from this point A, draw a line to the center and extend it. Okay? Call it AB. So first, construct ray AB passing through the center. Okay. Now what you can see here, AO and OQ are equal. In triangle AOQ, we have AO equal to OQ because radius of the same circle. So if AO equal to OQ, this side and this side is equal, then this angle and this angle should be equal. So we have angle OAQ equal to angle OQA. Right? This we know. Now, and this angle BOQ, external angle, you know the external angle theorem? Angle BOQ equal to angle OAQ. The external angle is the sum of internal opposite angles. So OAQ plus angle OQA. But OAQ and OQ are equal, so we'll have BOQ equal to twice angle OAQ. So BOQ, this angle, is twice this angle. We can even call this x, then this will be x and this will be 2x. Okay, something like this. Now look at triangle. Same way in triangle AOP. Look at triangle AOP again. AO equal to OP. So here this side and this side is equal. So this angle and this angle is equal. Therefore we got angle OAP equal to angle OPA. Radius of same circle. Therefore angle, so the angle is equal because the radius are equal, right? Now look at angle BOP, external angle BOP. Now this angle here BOP will be equal to sum of these two angles, interior opposite. So angle OAP plus angle OPA or angle BOP equal to twice angle OAP. So we have got this is the result 1 and this is the result 2. So what is the result telling us? Angle BOQ equal to twice angle AOQ and angle BOP equal to twice angle AOP. Now adding these two we have angle BOQ plus angle BOP equal to 2 common, angle AOQ plus angle AOP. But you can see here BOP, this angle BOP plus BOQ, this angle makes angle POQ equal to twice and OAP plus OAQ equal to PAQ, so twice angle PAQ. Hence it is proved. So what have we proved in this theorem? That the angle which an arc makes at the center, the angle made by the arc at the center is double of what is made on the circle. Okay, and it is true for the minor and the major arc all. So just to say it is only the theorem will state us like this: if angle PAQ is x, then angle POQ will be 2x, double at the center. The same goes for this. If this is x, again this will be 2x. You can prove the same way. But here something has changed. Here PQ is passing from the center. So when it is passing from the center, this should be 180 degree, right? A straight line is 180 degree. So this will be half of 180 or 90 degree. So what do you come to know from here? The angle made in a semicircle is always a right angle. So whenever you have a semicircle, remember this is a new theorem, we'll do it later. The angle made in a semicircle is always a right angle. And here also we have got reflex. If this is x, then this angle is equal to 2x. So do not mix the two and see it clearly. This is a very, very important theorem. Okay? From that theorem we move to a new theorem. Angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. Means you can see this arc PQ. It makes the angle POQ at the center, but it also makes angle PAQ and angle PAC. So the angles in the same segment, this is the same segment. You can say I can put a point here, say B, and I can put a point here, say D. So all the angles made by PQ in the same segment have to be equal, and this is very, very simple. We know angle POQ equal to twice angle PAQ. Also we can write angle POQ to twice angles PCQ. Why? The angle in the center is double of this. The angle in the center is double of this. But this is equal, so this also should be equal. So if you cut the 2 and the 2, you get angle PAQ equal to angle PCQ. Means this arc PQ will make the same angle. So if you take PBQ, if you take PAQ, if you take PCQ, if you take PDQ, because it is made in the same segment or the same arc, all the angles will be equal. Similarly, all the angles made in the major arc also will be equal. So this is a very, very easy theorem that the angles made in the same arc are equal. Now, there is one more theorem. This line segment AB, you can call it line segment AB, chord AB or arc AB, whatever. If the line segment joining two points, so these points are A and B, subtends equal angles at the other 2 points lying on the same side of the line, then the 4 points lie on the circle. So you can see this line AB has got 2 sides of a circle. This is one side and this is another side. Now this theorem says if this line segment AB, okay, makes equal angles at 2 points on the circle. So you can see these 2 points on the circle are C and D, and it states ACB and ADB are equal. It is given us that not ACB, sorry, ACB and ADB. It is given ACB and ADB both are equal. We have to prove that ABCD lie on the circle. So you can see how the proof is given here. Proof given is, let the circle pass through points A, B and C. Means we are just assuming that A, B and C lie on the circle, but D does not lie on the circle. Okay, D does not lie on the circle. So, if D doesn't lie on the circle, then the point which is on the circle can be E or can be E prime, whatever. If the circle is bigger than the line, the point lies inside. Okay, if the circle is smaller than the line, the point lies outside. So let us say D does not lie on the circle, but E lies on the circle. So if E lies on the circle, then angle ACB equal to angle AEB. Why? Because if the points are lying on the circle, same arc, then it always makes equal measures. But we are given angle ACB equal to angle ADB. It is given to us. This is given. Now this is only possible when angle AEB is equal to angle ADB. Now when can angle AEB equal to angle ADB? It is only possible when the point E and the point D are the same points. D and E are same points. But we have E lies on the circle. So if E lies on the circle, then D should also lie on the circle. So when a line segment makes equal angles on the same side, then all the 4 points should lie on the circle, or we can say ABCD are concyclic. So the points ABCD make a cyclic quadrilateral or a concyclic quadrilateral. So what is the definition of a concyclic quadrilateral? A quadrilateral whose all 4 points lie on the circle is called a cyclic quadrilateral. So look in the diagram I have shown here. This is a cyclic quadrilateral. Why it is a cyclic quadrilateral? Because all the 4 points lie on the circle. So from this cyclic quadrilateral, we are given a new theorem. What new theorem? The sum of either pair of opposite angles is 180. So in a cyclic quadrilateral, the opposite angles, angle A plus angle C should be 180. So we have to prove that angle A plus angle C equal to 180 degree, means they are supplementary, or even angle B plus angle D equal to 180 degree. So we have to prove that if the quadrilateral is a cyclic, means all the 4 points lie on the circle, then angle A and C are supplementary and angle B and D, the opposite angles, are supplementary. Can you think of a method to prove this? Do you have a method to prove this? So I can show you one method. Let us take this as the center. Okay, O as the center. And let me take the arc BD. Now, let me say BCD equal to X. So if BCD is equal to X, BOD will be 2X, right? Because it is double, we know the theorem. In the same way, this arc, major arc BD makes the angle BAD equal to Y. So if this is equal to Y, then the angle made in the center will be equal to 2Y. But if you look this, it makes a circle. So 2x plus 2y is equal to 360. If you take out 2 common, we have x plus y equal to 360, or we can say x plus y equal to 360 upon 2. or x plus y equal to 180. So I have proved this angle x and this angle y, the sum is 180. So this was a very easy proof. Okay, and here we have exactly the opposite, the same thing but opposite now. The other one, if the sum is given 180, we have to prove it is a cyclic quadrilateral. Means this time we are given this angle and this angle, both are, the sum is 180. Angle A plus angle C equal to 180 degree, and we are given angle B plus angle D equal to 180 degree. We have to prove that these points lie on the circle. Now the opposite theorem. If they are supplementary, prove that the points lie on the circle. So how will we prove the points lie on a circle? So you can prove the converse by the same way. You can take a center point. Okay, let us call this x. So this will be 2x, right? And let us call this y. This will be 2y. But we are given x plus y equal to 180. So y equal to 180 minus x. So what is 2x plus 2y equal to? 2x plus 2, 180 minus x equal to 2x plus 360 minus 2x. 2x get cut, so 360 degree. Since the angle made at the center is 360 degree, means it should form a circle. All these 4 points should lie on the circle. Now we try to sum. Here we have a cyclic quadrilateral in which AC and BD are the diagonals. You can see it's a cyclic quadrilateral, means all the 4 points lie on the circle and AC and BD are the diagonals. Angle DBC is 55 degree given to us. Angle BAC is given 45 degree. We have to find angle BCD. This angle we have to find. Okay, so how will we do this? Now look at angle. It is given angle DBC equal to 55 degree. But angle DBC equal to angle DAC. Why? You can see DBC is equal to DAC because this arc BC is making the angle on the same side of the circle. Remember, this arc BC is making the angle on the same side of the circle. So if this angle and this angle are equal, so if this is 55, this has to be 55 also. So we have got angle BAD equal to angle BAC plus angle DAC. So BAC is 45, DAC is 55, so total becomes 100. So we have got this angle is 100. But because it is a cyclic quadrilateral, we should have angle BAD, this angle plus angle BCD should be 180 because they are supplementary. So we have got this is equal to 100 plus angle BCD equal to 180 degree. Therefore angle BCD equal to 180 degree minus 100 degree. So BCD is equal to 80 degree. So we have shown this is equal to 80 degree. So what a theorem I have used here? This angle and this angle will be equal. Angles in the same segment. And this angle is 40 plus 50, that is 100. So if this is 100, this should be 80. One more sum here. Two circles intersect at 2 point A and B. So there are two circles which intersect at A and B. Now AD and AC are diameters of the two circles. Diameter means passing through the center. So it is given AD and AC are the diameters of these two circles. We have to prove B lies on the line segment DC. Now AD is diameter. Is given AD is the diameter. So angle ADB equal to 90 degree. Do you remember why? Because a semicircle always makes a what? Right angle. So angle in a semicircle is a right angle always. Same way, AC is diameter of another circle. Therefore, angle ABC is also equal to 90 degree. That is, angle in a semicircle is always a right angle. If you add this 1 and 2, then angle ADB plus angle ABC, sorry, ABD no, ABD, ABD angle ABD equal to 90, so ADB plus ABC, again I wrote it wrong here, ABD. So angle, which angles do we have? Angle ABD and angle ABC equal to 90 plus 90, 180 degree. It means if ABC, this is 90 and this is 90, then DBC should be a straight line. So DBC is a straight line, and so you can say B lies on DC. Okay, so we have proved another theorem. So this time we have moved from chords to arc and see the relation between the arcs make at the center, and equal chords make equal arcs, that we know. Now the arc makes equal angle on the same side of the circle, and the angle at the center, the angle made at the center by the arc is double of the angle made on any part of the circle. So these are the theorems for today. Kindly do them thoroughly, and now we'll move on to the next part and solve further sums. I'm going to end the lecture here. Thank you.